Hi, this is Mary, and a few people have asked about processing fleeces and how I do the things. And some of you have been to meetups, and we've done our classes and meetups here and know how this setup is. But I'm just going to walk through and kind of show. I'm doing some natural dyes today, so we'll come back and do that. But so this is kind of my backyard. I'm lucky to live in a place where I can be outside year round. This is a big fleece tumbler. I put fleeces in this. It's custom made. If you're interested in one this size or smaller, on the website under Woolly Sheep at Fiber Artist Market, you can contact the guy who makes them and he'll make them any size you want. This is a great thing for tumbling. It's also great for felting and for drying. So I love my tumbler. This is my brew kettle that I use to wash fleeces in, to dye, to steam when we do large quantities. It's a 40-gallon. I run it off propane, and it has a outlet spigot at the bottom and a temperature gauge so I can keep everything exactly where I want it. This is my old wash machine, which is fabulous for felting and agitating and for running through the wringer. This three burner propane that I'll be using a little later and show how I do some natural dyeing. I'm just trying out some things that I found in the yard and around the neighborhood. And this is kind of a little work table and a bag of pomegranates from my neighbor's yard that we're going to dye with today. This is the narrow walkway down to my studio. And for those of you who haven't seen my studio since it got insulated and drywalled, here it is. This is my, I'm going to turn it sideways. This is my piano picker. We'll go over what picking is and how you can do picking. There's some sock felting molds there. Up top there, I just have these up for show because they're so cute, but I have lots and lots of wooden shoe forms and lots of old spindles. These are a couple of my carders, Shacked and a Clemis and Clemis, some weights and some weights mailing center. These are some fleeces that are in the works. These are fleeces, roving, and add-ins that are up on the shelves. Microwave for some microwave dyeing, and my industrial sewing machine for sewing felt and things together. Love my industrial sewing machine. And here's just some more spindles and some decorations. Here is my Southern Comfort triple picker, which I absolutely love. And then here is my big picker, which is a Duncan that I love. This is my workhorse. Here are some carders and some combs, and we'll go over that at some point for anybody who doesn't know how. This is my tools and a workbench where I do, work. And there's a bag of Nettles that I'm going to use for some dyeing in a minute. These are some big barrels that have locking lids that I use for doing the suint method of cleaning fleeces, which is appropriate for some of the fleeces, and we'll talk about that. And inside my garage, when we partition the garage, I have an old loom that needs a lot of work, but I have all my dyeing supplies back here and all lined up all along here. And then sometime when we dye, I have all of the Dharma dyes for our dye days. And then sometime when we can get back together, we'll do a dyeing day and we'll video that. And I have 6 large stainless steel 6-foot trays for dyeing and for felting. And those is just the other side of my dyeing equipment. So that's kind of the setup I have. And I'll come back with some more specific things with the natural dyeing techniques today. This is what I'm doing for natural dyeing. These are just a bunch of broken pomegranates and skins from a tree that is already sort of broken off. These are nettles from a bag of nettles. And this, you can see, is already pink because I already processed some cochineal from the cactus, and we'll see what colors that bring up. I have a lot more cochineal to go harvest while these are heating up and kind of cooking a little, and then we'll come back and see what they do. So we're back after an hour of simmering, and this is what our cochineal looks like. Just a pretty red. And this is what our nettles look like. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of a mucky brown green. And our pomegranates are a reddish brown. And kind of stir them and pound them with these big sticks. And I'm going to leave them set for just a tiny bit more while I go pick some more cochineal. And then I'll strain them and we'll pop in our yarn and see what happens. So, from right to left, we have nettle, cochineal, and pomegranate. I just ran the debris through a strainer and strained it off into here. And now we're going to take out our wool. This is 100% wool. This is Corriedale from our fabulous Corriedale breeder, who's an RFFA, 4-H student. And we're going to just dip that in and we'll see what happens. And then we're going to steam them for a little bit. So that one went into the nettles. This is going into the cochineal. You can see how it's already picking up cochineal color. The cochineal's a little bit light. We'll see. And here we go into our pomegranate. Let's see what that does. Oh, and that's already kind of a lovely blue-gray. I'm going to love that. So we're going to let those soak. Now, I mordanted this with a little bit of citric acid in a jar, and I went for a pH of 4. And I just used some pH sticks to show where I am. So I'm going to pop these back in a big vat, put in some water, turn on, and let them steam for a few hours, and then we'll see what color they come out. So here we are a couple hours later, and this cochineal is very bright. I have never gotten cochineal that bright. I can't explain it. The middle one is nettles. It's a lovely fawn color. I really like that. The pomegranate right here came out kind of a dark purpley brown. It's beautiful, and I did a couple of variegated. I threw in a few skeins that were wrapped up, and so they kind of got variegated. But that's what it looks like. So that's kind of from beginning to end. Cochineal, nettles, pomegranates. You saw me soak them and cook them and throw the skeins in, and pH of 4. If you're looking for somebody who does exact measurements and exactly how much did I put in, you're probably going to have to find somebody else, because that's not me. I'm kind of a slapdash, try it and see how it works out. Now, if I was going to do it and try to do large volume, I'd write everything down, but this was just a test. So anyway, that's it today. Thanks.